the legal science. He's a candidate of economic sciences, etc. Master. So it's a person who is capable to very quickly organize a kind of combat, so to say, or the department, and also to declare the vacancies to be filled in the Anti-Corruption Bureau. Also appointed the third deputy. He is going to take care of the financial issues, and actually will be not directly involved in the major function of the Anti-Corruption Bureau. He's going to be appointed in a few days from now. So those who do not know where we are located is 3 Suriko Street in the city of Kiev. We are working the field conditions now because we have to take the decisions just, now, like the snap of the fingers. And we actually already announced 2 contests, and we already received the documents for filling the 15 offices, and for the detectives' vacancies, we still are receiving the documents and the applications, and we were talking about those documents will be valid, who are going to be sent by the mail no later than the May of 15th, and then we are going to verify whether they meet all the necessary requirements, and then we are going to take some kind of the skills qualification test. President already signed the document regarding the Anti-Corruption Bureau, and we have all the necessary grounds to very quickly take care of this contest. We are talking about this kind of Anti-Corruption Public Bureau. I would like to talk here today. We are talking about the Public Council in this bureau. You can see that information at our website of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, but I would like to specifically address the representatives of the public organizations and the civil society in order to speed up, to accelerate, and make it very, let's say, transparent procedure forming the public council for them to delegate 3 first persons into our committees for us to start our work, since the people are already prepared to be included in this contest committee, and we have to take care of formation of public council to create the committee and start work, as I mentioned before. The composition of the public council includes 15 persons. In our bureau, the procedure has been outlined by the presidential decree. I'm not going to go into details about that, because this decree, you can familiarize themselves at the president's website and our website. The only thing which I would like to say that we can allow the participation in this context representatives of the public organizations who are involved in combating corruption, directly. And there is a list of the documents to be provided. They can be sent in an electronic way, by email of Anti-Corruption Bureau, which you can find on our website. Should you have any questions regarding this contest, or the address, or any other issues pertaining to that, we have the website. It has the telephone numbers, 3 telephone numbers, and you can actually call us, and you'll be provided with necessary information. To participate in our context, you have to take up with the decision of the body, the copy of the statute of the public association, the copy of the registration of this public association, the copy of the documents ID, the CV, declaration of the person who would like to participate in this contest, motivation letter, and your telephone number, and the address, email address, and some of the funds required for the verification. Responsible will be the public council and the candidate himself or herself, since actually you have to provide this document within the up to the date which I mentioned before, and we are going to determine the 15 best possible candidates who claim to filling the vacancies. So I repeat myself, I again address the public organization representatives and the citizens. Please be active take an active participation in this context and help the entire corruption bureau to form a good team so that those persons in the nearest possible future start their work in order to reveal the corruption violations associated with corruption. I'm prepared to take your questions now. Thank you. Please introduce yourself. Vyacheslav Redko, ex-manager of the public center under the Donetsk administration. Artem, I know that there were some people who wished to send their documents for your consideration, but they are afraid that they lack the experience of this work. I mean, people who are fresh from the universities. Are you prepared to take those people in your team? What kind of position or post you're talking about? Well, last time I mentioned that, but again, the minimum qualification requirements for the bureau detective is the higher legal education and 2 years of experience legal work. It doesn't matter whether this is some public agencies or, let's say, the law enforcement, whatever. But I decided 2 years of experience because the category of the cases we are going to take care of is very serious because the students are not really prepared to take care of that. Myself, I was after the academy, I started to work as an investigator, but I worked in the district prosecutor's office, and we didn't have to do with the ministers or prime minister or whatever. So we need some kind of life experience, which will facilitate the work of the candidates in the future. There were some other proposals to have more than 2 years of experience, but I decided 2 years will be enough. Artem, once again, can you repeat the date when we can send our applications, or people can send their applications, so that everybody know to participate in this contest for the Public Control Council up till 23rd of May. You can send to email, and I will give you the email address later on after the briefing. What kind of documents I already mentioned. And then the period since 7 a.m. till 16 p.m. on May 23rd, we are going to determine the circle of those persons who will become the winners of this contest. Alexander Paputsia, leading partner of the Alexis company. Artem, as far as I can understand, the major combat unit, so to say, of your bureau will be detectives. So the total number of detectives, which and their share is compared to the total number of the people working in your bureau. And the second question, the activities of your bureau will be rather something new for this country over the last few years, and you're going to find the high, this kind of hydra, who will try to put all the obstacles in your way of activities. So, are you going to have some personnel or the units in your bureau who are going to ensure not only integrity of your personnel, but also to protect them against some kind of provocations or provocative actions, maybe some physical threats or whatever? I understand what you're talking about. If you remember at the very beginning of our briefing, I introduced here, or presented here, one of my deputies, and I'm sure that he'll be able to protect myself and all our personnel. Speaking about detectives, they're going to be really what we call the combat units. We are going to have the senior detectives and just detectives. I already mentioned that this is absolutely new, something new to us in this institution, and this personnel have to take the administrative and, let's say, investigative, so to say, personnel. Yeah, and I must tell you that we have not yet announced the contents to fill the vacancies of the senior detective because the requirements will be much higher. As for the total number today in our structure, yeah, we were talking to get. Actually, I was given the chance to do it myself. I mean, to determine the structure, since this is a new bureau, and we'll maybe sometimes we'll have to change the structure of this bureau. Well, so far we are talking about 250 detectives, 12 leading positions, and the rest, let's say, 243 are detectives. Well, I do not mention the specific names of. Well, actually, I decreased the number of the leading positions. 12, 12 offices is a really very small number as compared to some other law enforcement agencies, whatever. Thank you very much. And you actually can communicate with a newly appointed deputy in a few minutes after the briefing. Many journalists call myself on the phone. If the journalists have some specific questions, not the general questions, what you're going to do when you start working, but some specific questions regarding the specific things, I have two deputies who are going to arrange the work of the law enforcement, let's say. Glava is going to be leader of the detectives and technical department and analysis. If you have some specific questions regarding those units or departments, this person will be happy to offer you his comments and his vision, how he visualizes that. If we are talking about the law enforcement block, we are talking about maybe detention or arrest. We are not going to ask anybody else to arrest or detain the suspect. We are going to do that ourselves. And this department is going to ensure not only the security and safety, not all of our person, but if we will see that we will need some kind of physical protection, like that. So the structure department, which is going to be headed by Mr. Novak, they will be responsible to ensure the safety and security of those people who are going to take care of different cases, etc., etc. And then we are ready to answer any questions which would be interesting to your side. Thank you very much for your information, and we'll be waiting for